Welcome to the woods. Late. Should have got this one out on Sunday, but yet again, I'm snowed under. I've got so much work to do up here at the moment, and the weather's not helping me. Pouring with rain one minute, bright blue skies and about 30 degrees the next. So I put a coat on because it's raining, and then I'm sweating my nads off because it's 30 degrees. So it's hectic, but it's all good. And this should be a video leading on from the last one, which was self-sufficiency, covering more of the points we came up with together. But I'm going to take a break from that. Because I've been in discussion with a few people online, quite a few people on my Telegram chat. If you're not subbed to me there, sub to me on Telegram and join in the chat. It's wholesome most of the time. So I want to talk about kind of what's going on at the moment with the old new monkeypox, but I'm not going to dwell on that. I also want to have a quick chat about why it is I started to do these 10 points. Why I discussed what's wrong with the right, why so much infighting. And it would be a good idea if we had some sort of clear vision. And that's what those 10 points were supposed to be. And they will be. But I think I need to be honest and say that those 10 points may be pertinent to you and me. Helicopters. But not to everyone. So that clear vision, somewhere to aim for, won't be where everyone wants to go. And I think that the right, although I dislike that term more and more, needs to be understanding that it's not only a very broad church, but there doesn't need to be one destination. Half the problem is trying to funnel all these different factions, all these very stubborn, ideologically driven people into one route, into one goal. And the thing is, they're all different. There are certain points which we will get to that I think we can all agree on. But even that's going to be difficult. I'd like to say that I would hope we were all opposed to globalism. But there's factions out there that view globalism as the natural progression and a way forward. There are vast amounts of people now coming to the conclusion that technology is actually a hindrance. And you would think that the way I live off-grid in the middle of the woods, I would be one of those people, and yet I'm not. I like technology. I'm amazed how incredible the advances have been over just a few short years. The fact that I can talk to you on a telephone and You can watch it on video. It is, to me, still quite amazing. And I think these advances in technology are fine as long as they're used for the good of people and not to control them, which sadly is what many of them are there for. So it's a double-edged sword, and it's a discussion that needs to be had on how we move forward with technology, but ensuring that it's for our benefit and not for a small group of people that want to control us. And I can hear many people saying small groups of people have always controlled us, and they have. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if they have our best interests at heart. The situation we face today is grave. This month, the World Health Organization, what a fantastic name, isn't it? What is it with these names? The World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, Hope Not Hate. All brilliant names, and yet belie their actions. The World Health Organization is about to gain control of 194 countries who are going to gladly surrender their sovereignty. Without a doubt, this is one of the most publicised, blatant steps towards one world government. One central body, unelected by you or me, that will control what happens in a health crisis globally. With that organisation also informing you when it's a health crisis, what constitutes a health crisis, with no redress, with no capability for your country or mine to say, no, we think that's wrong, we'll go our own way. It's a very, very dangerous step. We saw during the last, I'm not going to call it a pandemic, during the last power consolidation, exactly how this thing works. How all those countries slip easily into doing the bidding of one small group of people. And now they're consolidating that power base by ratifying it legally that they will have control if they say there's a crisis. And I said I'm not going to dwell on the old monkeypox, and I'm not. I don't think this one will amount to much. But I've got my fingers crossed as I say that. However, it's going to be used for something, otherwise we wouldn't even know about it. It may be in the public domain simply as a reason for the WHO to be gaining these powers so that they have something else to point at and say this is the reason we need to do this? I don't know. I don't think any of us really do. And although Belgium has already imposed a 21-day curfew, lockdown, quarantine for people that are infected, I don't think this is going to lead to the situation we've had over the last 2 to 3 years. But I could be wrong, and as we've seen, we should be at least looking at what they could do and how we can make the situation at least tolerable for ourselves. If they were to start lockdowns and masks and social distancing all over again, I don't think the pushback would be any bigger than it was last time. I think the general populace would go along with it. With something like this new disease, although it's not new in itself, it's also highly visible, unlike the last one. Scary looking big boils erupting on your face. Not something that most people would want. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see why it's here, why they're using it, and be prepared. Be prepared to push back when it looks like they're talking bollocks again. Keep your eyes open on more and more of your sovereign powers from your country, from my country, being moved to unelected elites. I'm sure everybody who's watching this will know that the real plan is for the introduction of a digital ID and digital currency. Exactly how that digital currency is going to work out, it's going to take a few years, I think. There may be a lot more than one in the beginning. And I say in the beginning because the obvious goal is for there to be just one. So they would control everything. And we're getting back to the talking points we've discussed over the last 2 years. And I think we have to touch on those again, because that step by the World Health Organization is the first step to ratifying legally one world government, an unelected one world government. An organisation funded by private individuals, pressure groups, foundations, and countries. And these people don't give them money, these countries don't give them money, unless they're going to get something in return. And we all understand by now that these individuals, corporations, foundations, and governments have no concern for your welfare or health. So what they're getting back from the WHO is maybe power. And as much as it looks like they're giving it away, they'll still be able to wield a certain amount. The governments will be reduced to local councils of a one world government. but they'd sooner be running the council than one of the populace. Keep your eyes open, be prepared, because as much as I don't think this one will come to much, they're definitely going to use it, push back against all the rubbish, push back against all the restrictions. Fingers crossed we can at least get through the summer, and during that time discuss how we move forward and how we change this, how we get rid of this, how we clear them out. I still think I'm right in that we need a positive direction, but I understand that it's not going to be for everyone, and that's fine. So hopefully in the next video I'll get back to those 10 points. There are things we can all agree on. We can agree on meritocracy. We can agree on self-sufficiency, both individually and on a national level. I think what we can all agree on is that what we've got, we need to change. Be prepared, people, but don't be scared. A lot of what they do is massively engineered to frighten the shit out of most people. Don't let them frighten you. Whatever they throw at us, we'll get through it. And over the next weeks and months, let's work out a plan of where we're going. And then we can work out how we get there. I have a feeling it will be in the opposite direction of where they want to take us. Stay well, you lot, and I'll speak to you soon.